Okay, hello everyone. I want to introduce our latest acquisition, 1988 Suzuki Samurai. We just picked this up. I keep being told by everybody, put something on YouTube. So here it is. I'm using a phone, so I'm not real used to it, so this picture's going to be a little screwy. I'm doing the best I can. My cameras haven't been used in so many years. Their batteries are dead and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we picked this thing up from a family friend. He's like a business acquaintance, but I trust him. It's been sitting for 8 years. And it's been raining on the inside of it for 8 years. The bikini top it had rotted away and was letting water inside. It was kind of a homemade pickup truck. Has a piece of plywood on the back, and it's had some real serious, it has a long history. The Carfax on this thing is practically causes the paper to burst into flames. It's been totaled twice, and it's been through numerous owners, and oh my God, it still runs though. And it's the guy I bought it from drove it all over the state of Arizona, and it was definitely not a mall queen. He was a prospector, and he ran the heck out of this thing. And it finally gave up the ghost when a fuel pump went bad about 7 years ago. So he stopped driving it and allowed the sun to shine in, and basically everything got soaked and weathered, and even the glove box fell off. I just got done rebuilding the shifter tower. That was so bad, it was unbelievable. I don't know how he even drove it. He must have just held the shifter at exactly the right spot, and so that it would so it wouldn't pop out of gear. When I was driving it, it did nothing but pop out of gear. And the door panels are shot, and the dashboard is all weathered, and all kinds of stuff. But boy, it does run good. 180,000 miles, and 180,000 hard miles. And as it sat there for 7 years, it developed a home for all kinds of critters. I don't know if you guys can see all this, but it's not very pretty. Basically, the wires are all chewed. There's rat feces everywhere. Oh, this thing's just so much fun. Over here, we have a bird's nest. No birds, just a bird's nest. And of course, the wires are all chewed to the everything. The wires are all chewed to everything. The very first thing I did when I got this was get the brake lights working. It had no lights. I drove it home 3 miles, and the 2 front tires are just rotting off this truck. I mean, literally just rotting off it. And they have such huge bubbles in them that the steering was just shaking back and forth. And it's like, I don't know if I'm going to make this thing. Well, worst comes to worst, we would just tow it. But it really was a hoot. And so we put a fuel pump in it. Brand new little fuel pump down here. And it started up and it ran. No choke. I don't know what's wrong with it. There's a lot of things I don't know what's wrong with. This thing, believe it or not, has air conditioning. And the blower doesn't run. I would guess that probably all the wiring is all chewed up. That's a strange air conditioner too for this thing. Oh, I'm turning you around, sorry about that. I think it's an aftermarket unit that was installed later, because this thing came to Arizona. It was from Michigan, and it came to Arizona a couple years into its life after its first total. It got totaled in Michigan, got repaired, ended up at an auto auction in Arizona, and it got bought. And since then, it's been totaled once more. So it's just had quite a history. But amazingly, and I mean it's amazing. Oh, this is a hoot. There's a towel on the seat. Almost like a comedy skit. I had a tarp over this roof, and we had bad rains for the past 2 days. And wouldn't you know it, I had the tarp wrapped underneath here. and the door's closed. But what I didn't know was there's about 5 gallons of water sitting in the middle of this tarp. So the whole interior is so nice and dry. I'm really proud of myself. And I open the door, and 5 to 10 gallons of water come down in here and just flood everything. Oh well. One of those things that happens. So it's got 188,000 miles. And now it has a nice sharp, nice shifter. Oh, this thing is, I like this. This is really, really good. The towers go bad on these. A little pin down in the front breaks off, and you can take this shifter level and just turn it, and it pops out of place, and you've got to kind of like putting a joint back in place. You got to find the spot and then put it back in place and turn the shifter so that it stays. But now she's all fixed. It's really, really nice. I hate this phone, by the way. I can't zoom out enough. And I'm sorry about this, guys. Everything looks real close up, and I can't do anything about it because it doesn't zoom out anymore. So anyway, let me see. I'll show you how it runs. Oh, clutch. So that's cold. No choke. If I step on the gas, of course, she dies because it's got no choke. Come on. You're just cold. It runs. But it's sad. Everything is sun ruined. Everything is bent from the heat. Arizona is rough on a vehicle. The inside door handles are broke off. The window regulators, this thing doesn't move, and they broke the handle off trying to get it to move. No inside door handle. Oh, it's just a hoot. There's plenty wrong with it. Believe it or not, that stops when I close the door. There we go. So here it is, rough, right from the oh, I gotta keep my fingers away from the lens. I'm not good at this. But it's all here, including the missing roof. I got a new roof for it. I'm waiting for some hardware to show up. Let me see if I can get out of this thing. Oh my God, this thing is, there we go. Amazing. What I found really amazing, this radio sitting here has been in the rain for the last 7 years. Okay? Last 7 years. Well, there's stations somewhere. It works. I didn't want to get a copyright claim. But believe it or not, after 7 years of sitting in the rain, it still works. I find that slightly amusing. Nothing else does, but it still works. So the only body damage it's got, and I got to figure out how to fix this. I don't know how to do this. Is this door, let's see if I can show you. That's as far as it closes. I got to push it to close it. And that's because this hinge up here, and you probably can't see it, sun, this hinge is pushed in. And I'm not sure how to pull that out. Somebody must have hit that with something. A vehicle must have hit it or something at one time and pushed it in. Who knows? Anyway, so this is my first video of the Samurai. I'm probably going to own this thing till the day I die. I like it. It's already, I can tell it's going to be a lot of fun once it's put back together. I got tires coming for it. I'm almost afraid to pull the tires because when I first got it, it had no brakes. I just put fluid in the reservoir and pumped it a half a dozen times, gave it a few minutes, and it primed itself. But God knows what's going to happen when I pull these wheels. I don't even have a clue. But we'll find out. These are amazing. These tires are 15 years old. For Arizona, that's pretty sad. You don't want to drive on 15-year-old tires in Arizona unless you have a death wish. But I guess I do, because I did. Anyway, well, I'm going to end this right now. I'm sorry if I'm long-winded. I'm just kind of documenting what's here and what it is. Look at that. They even chewed the spark plug wire. These things, we've got these oh my God, they chewed that one down bad. It still runs, but these pack rats, they are amazing. They chew stuff up. Oh, here, maybe I can show you something weird. Let me see if I can get to my car. I've got a pack rat nest in this car. I don't know where the keys are. I think they might be in the trunk. But I went looking for parts in here the other day. Not the other day, a month or so ago. Let me see, the key is in it. Yes, the key is in it. I had trouble getting back here. Anyway, I opened up this trunk. And I saw that. That is my trunk. There is a small hole in the wheel well where the tire goes for drainage. And because this car had a problem with water leaking into the trunk, I left the plug out. Well, this is what happens to a trunk in Arizona. This has a few parts in it. It has a heater box in it. It has some relays. It has a bunch of parts for a Volvo in it. But this is what happens to a trunk in Arizona when you don't use the car for a while. These things are bad. These things are the worst. They're unbelievable. They'll chew all the wires up. They're really something. So I thought I'd show you that trunk. I still don't know how I'm going to clean that out. It's that bad. So that's our Samurai, and that's our rat-infested Samurai and rat-infested Volvo. Well, you guys have a good day, and we'll if you want more videos of this, we'll make more of them. Alrighty, take care. Have a good one.